someone had forwarded me an article, and it had much to do with the very thing that I was talking about, hold out, using cash, that the ministry does not process tithes and offerings digitally. And I said I would hold out as long as possible. And interesting, as I said, someone forwarded me an article, and this article basically said that I believe it's in a South American country, they're already floating this whole thing of basically there's no more paper money, it's all digital. And I'm going to just tell you, I don't like to engage in this type of conversation because I know you all come here for one reason, and that's this book, but let me just tell you, it ties into the events that are described in the last days from this book, where you won't be able to buy or sell without taking a certain mark, whatever that mark is. But it is interesting that there are people who are still so ignorant that they don't realize that ushering in this type of technology without even thinking twice about the ramifications, forget about if you're not even interested biblically, but the ramifications to you and to me as citizens in here come the air quotes, in a free country, is that once that technology is ushered in and once it is implemented and enforced, you may be very surprised to find out that if you are not compliant with every whim that the government desires you to do, and we're not talking about the constitutional law-abiding citizens, we're talking about the crookedness, thievery that goes on daily from our government. Except here they'll be able to enforce what you can or cannot buy or how you can spend what will no longer be your money, controlled by basically a blanket of technology that now you at least have the capacity. Yes, you can drive, you can go, and cameras, there are cameras everywhere, facial recognition to see where you are and what you're doing. But if you think that is intrusive, wait until they remove currency from your pocketbooks and make it digital. That will give government complete control over everything you can or cannot do. And failure, by the way, to recognize this is rather ignorant. So as I said last week, and I'm going to say it again, if you are someone like me who is resisting, and I'm resisting it's not technology, it is every type of encroachment upon my personal freedoms. And I will resist as long as possible. That means cash is still king for me. It means that wherever I can go, where people are still accepting cash. I know during COVID, a lot of restaurants, for example, stopped taking cash and then just made it a policy. Let's just move on from this and never look back. I won't support places that don't still let me exercise that right to go. And if I want to be discreet about buying myself a meal somewhere, that it doesn't have to be recorded somewhere. Yes, my pictures being taken doesn't mean I have to have them record what I had for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, or how much toilet paper I used. You understand what I'm saying? Yes, ma'am. So I'm telling you as a congregation and anyone that will listen to me, this is not anti-technology, nor is it, by the way, a concept that I'm saying we should be I am not anti-government, I'm anti-corruption, and I'm anti this whole movement that basically people who are not of the book are failing to recognize what is happening so quickly. It is happening at the speed of light. And before you know it, as I said, it only took the country to be shut down. Remember, it started with, it'll take us 2 weeks to, what was that? Flatten the curve, thank you. 2 weeks turned into 2 years, and during those 2 years, we are more in debt, we are not better, we are not anywhere closer to understanding, sorry, I'm just going to say it, all the lies we've been told. And it's just about that. If you think you're a government, I don't care if you're red or blue, green, orange, yellow, what you believe in politically, you're all being lied to, we're all being lied to. So unless you're ready to figure this out by yourself, I suggest you stand with people who at least have the concept of understanding. You resist as long as you can. It's like those poor folks who don't understand every time there is a mass shooting somewhere. What do they say? Oh, we need better gun control. We need to get the guns back from the people. Let me just tell you something. If all the guns were removed from every American, there would still be people who'd go out and commit crimes, finding guns somewhere to commit the crimes. The guns aren't the problem. It's the lack, if you want to know the truth, of enforcement, not by law enforcement either. This is the other thing. Anyway, I don't want to get into this. See, you can get me started without even saying a word. I'm just trying to tell you, if it's not abundantly clear already, it's why I play the anthem every Sunday. I will stand patriotically and defend my rights and the rights to worship freely, to bear arms, to have freedom of speech, as long as I have breath in my lungs. I encourage you to do the same thing, because it will be very easy for other people to just sit back with arms folded and do nothing. So every place where there is at least a little bit of resistance makes it that much tougher for those people to take away our God-given freedom and rights. And I suggest that if you can band together with other people, I always say this, peacefully and with purpose, then do it.
Come into this house, magnify the Lord, lift up holy hands, our hearts in one accord, worship and bow down before Him.